check this out.
Hello. So my name is Rick Rhoads. I'm with State Employees Credit Union. I want to tell you how we did an app in 8 months. So a little bit of background. State Employees Credit Union, we're the world's second largest credit union. Everybody always asks who is the first. It's Navy Federal Credit Union. They're also a Backbase client. We have about $39 billion in assets, 2.3 million members. So previously, we had online banking, we had mobile web, we did not have a mobile app. After about 10 years, I finally got a mobile app approved. We're more traditionalist. And then in January of 2016, we decided to develop the mobile app in-house. Thought it was a good idea at the time. Problem was that the development never seemed to end. So we had to make a change. January of this year, January 2018, we had to come up with a new plan. We pulled the plug on our in-house development. Realized we needed to find a new solution. Really needed to find a partner to help us get to where we needed to be in the future to build a foundation that we could build upon. So we did an accelerated search. We had our list of needs. We wanted it to be true omni-channel. Everybody talks about omni-channel, but very few really have it. Since we were so late to the game, it had to absolutely be a stunning UX design. Of course, it had to be responsive web, and we also wanted to be fully native. Wanted it to include the latest technology deck. Wanted it to have widgets. We wanted it to be a modular design, so we didn't have these behemoth builds that would take months at a time. And of course, we wanted it to be feature-rich. So we started looking around. Something different this time around is we normally use US companies. We did a worldwide search. March 27th, 2018, we signed with Backbase, the whole product suite. Our goal was to build a new mobile app in 8 months. So I want to talk a little bit about our implementation experience. Backbase, as you know, you've heard it, you know, they're leading edge everything, leading edge approaches, software, methods. Our legal department made me remove the next slide that explained our technology position. But let's just say we had to make a change. We were pretty archaic in our methods. We were true believers in water fail. So we needed help getting to be a digital first environment. First thing we had to do is change our process. We had to adopt Agile. Backbase is Agile, it works. It's a brilliant process. We didn't know anything about it, so we actually had Backbase come in and train the entire product team, the entire mobile app team, developers, DevOps guys, everybody. Great training. We also decided to move to a DevOps structure. We felt the best way to do it was to basically adopt the same tools that Backbase is using. We're going to partner with them. It makes sense to use the same tools. So using Vision for prototyping, Jira for change management, Jenkins for process automation, CI/CD, Bitbucket for version control, and Confluence for collaboration. The whole thing. Probably the biggest challenge was our culture and our organization. We're not too autonomous in our processes, so we had to give the team and the product owners, true autonomy. The team, where you're normally distributed through a whole bunch of different operations centers, we brought the entire team into one building so they could collaborate, work together every day. My job was to provide them support, make sure they have the tools and the resources that they need. And the overall goal was to build a model that we could get the rest of the organization to adopt. So overall, new tools, new processes, new approach. Truly it was a somewhat humbling process to realize how far behind we were. So at the end, we realized we're building a lot more than just an app. We're building a new way. Since we've adopted all of that, we have seen some improvements. We've seen great improvement in teamwork and communication. You can quickly see progress, very measurable with these two-week sprints. And because of those 2-week sprints, you get a lot faster feedback. All right, to the mobile app, 8 months, daunting task, very little time, a lot of pressure. Because of that, we had to make some key strategic decisions on how to get this done. These are our key decisions we made. First, we decided to go with an out-of-the-box. Typically, we're probably like a lot of y'all, we customize everything and it can never ever be upgraded again. So we were going with out-of-the-box. In the smaller screen, you can see the out-of-the-box Backbase. This is our welcome screen. Wanted to minimize customization. The whole key was we wanted to expedite the development, release it, get feedback, enhance it. Repeat and repeat. So it's quite challenging to balance the time to market with the features. We're a great organization for scope creep. All right, so here's the app. Just wanted to show you some screens. This is the enrollment process. When you first open it up, to enroll, you key in your existing online credentials, your online banking credentials. From that point, you define a 5-digit PIN to use in the app going forward. You have to accept all the mumbo jumbo terms, and that's it. So now you've basically enrolled in the mobile app. From there on out, you use your PIN to sign on, 5-digit, nice and easy. This will couple well with biometrics, which we'll put out later this year. Provide account listing like always. Nice color schemes, very stunning. Of course, transactions for your accounts. Transaction details. Move money in between accounts at the credit union. Bill pay. One of our claims to fame is real-time loan advances and real-time credit card advances. It's a way to get new money on the fly. Of course, the proverbial more information where other stuff will get dumped with time. And very user-friendly messaging, error messages, confirmation messages, et cetera, et cetera. These, again, just sort of came out of the box. So where we're at right now is the app is live. The mobile app team is actually doing a beta. The conference was sort of at the wrong time. As soon as we get back, we'll release the app to our 6,800 employees, and then the last week of November, right after Thanksgiving in the US, we'll release it to the general membership. So as Claude and Sophie were showing, we'll quickly be adding additional functions to it. Before the end of the year, we'll put in biometrics, messaging, we'll expand our bill pay features. After that, we'll do alerts and push notifications. At the end of the second quarter, we'll put in mobile check deposit. That's sort of riding on another implementation that we have to do behind the scenes to get that going. Car controls. At the end of June, we'll put in a new back-end bill pay system, 5-serve actually. After that, contacts, which is logical because then we'll do P2P and accounts to accounts. And then at the end of the year, the big thing is we will actually replace our entire online banking web with the Backbase platform. Once we have that, then we'll go to Claude stuff and do the budgeting and the spending and the savings goals. What we wanted to do is we wanted to partner with somebody. We're trying to take a new method of doing stuff. We want to provide Backbase input, feedback. We've had a great opportunity to do that so far with bill pay. Then we want to align our rollout with their product releases. Try to maintain product rather than customizing everything. And basically try to build out a long-term partnership. I truly feel that we made the right decision on who to go with. The future. So this takes us more out to 2025. Think that there's going to be continued disruption. Think that the UX, the user experience, is going to be key. It's got to be simple, contextual. Analytics, you know, we're all moving to analytics. We need to use analytics more for the here and now. What is the member doing? Try to replicate the Amazon type experience. AI probably become mainstream. We're already seeing that happen. Mobile everywhere, mobile everything. Mobile in our cars, mobile on our face, mobile on our watch. And then I think probably one of the biggest threats is typically regulations have provided barriers to entry. And what we're seeing is a lot of fintechs and non-traditional money service providers are partnering with financial institutions, which allow them to get into the market. So we've got to catch up. At the end, we think that the best way to predict the future is actually to help create it. My name is Rhoads.
Great, let me thank you.
Yeah.
All right,
Pleasure.
Thank you very much for being here and sharing your story.
Thanks.
We're going to do a few questions. Maybe I can start with it. You were saying it was kind of difficult to kind of challenge speed versus functionality.
Right.
Maybe you can share with the audience kind of what was your insight? How do you balance that? And typically people need to have feature parity, or you see feature wish list.
Right.
How did you guys handle that in the inception phase?
So we had a very short inception phase because the time to market was so short. So we primarily looked at the existing widgets, and we tried to match the widgets that y'all already had and make sure that what we had on our existing mobile web, we at least met that goal.
Okay, so you were able to get feature parity, and then you say, let's go out of the box. That was pretty much the recipe.
And then let's keep putting in your additional feature sets.
Yeah. Maybe for one more, about if you really would say don'ts to the audience, please don't do, or do's, what would you recommend? And also, honestly, in your relationship with Backbase, you can talk completely frankly.
All right. The team's great. We're in the United States. They've come over to the United States several times, a couple weeks at a time. We learned a great deal. We really sort of went into this blind, and we relied on Backbase a lot. Like I was saying, we actually had their educational people come in and teach us on Agile, which was fantastic, because at that point we were matching what they're doing, not quite as good as them, of course, but still trying to get there. Same way with the tools. They helped us install the tools, helped teach us how to use the tools. So really what we're trying to do is we're trying to replicate Backbase within our organization. So to begin with, Backbase is doing everything. With time, we'll start doing more and more, and then at the end, the goal is for us to be able to put in their product with a little bit of guidance from Backbase. So that's sort of our long-term model.
Okay, that's really kind of you. Is there anything you would like us to improve?
My only suggestion at this point would be, if I would have known the depth and breadth of the technical sessions, I would have brought more developers.
Yeah. Okay, we'll take it with us. Thank you very much.
We love the product.
Any other questions here in the room?
Yes. Yesterday we also had a lot of talk about the culture within the company, and could you elaborate a little bit more about what changed compared to the first project, which lasted a bit too long, and the project from this year? Could you elaborate a bit on what happened in the change in the culture within your department?
Yeah, that was probably actually the biggest challenge, because it wasn't just my department. It was multiple operational areas within IT and business, and so within the organization we're still very much waterfall, and then we're trying to build the Agile. And strangely, well, not really strangely, over in IT, everybody already knows about Agile, knows about these tools, knows about these processes. So we've gotten a lot of buy-in over on the IT side of the shop. The operations shop is more controlling, so more waterfall, more traditional. I think that's going to be our biggest challenge, and truthfully, that's where my work is, to try to get them to buy in and to adopt. And we figure the best way to do that is to show how well this model's working.
So department itself sees perspective for their own role in a future way of working?
Yes. And then as we expand the products and services and feature sets, we'll naturally have to integrate with other areas of the organization, and then I'll naturally bring them in. So first part of that is the mobile check deposit. So that side is trying to get aligned with how we're doing things. And I don't know if we'll get full adoption across the organization. I mean, it is a big change, but it is a meaningful change, and we can definitely see the progress, and we can see the improvement.
Does anybody else have a question? Oh, well then I would like to, or maybe, no, Joop, would you like to ask a question?
No,
or
good. Thank you.
No? Well, give him a warm round of applause. Good notes.